I've been growing thicker hands for the past year and I'm mostly known for my massive thumbs on social medias, so in today's tier list I will rank the exercises that give me the fastest gains. Let's start right off the bat with one of the best hand builders I'm about to nut. We've got Pronation. It is so incredibly good for the thumbs. This is the exercise I've been doing since the start of my journey and I attribute most of my hand gains to it. You will want to do it the way I do it to get the best out of it. So each reps you will do a thumb flexion on the way up, which will pump the hand so much more. This is going straight to the S tier, but there are even more specifics to that exercise. The material with which you do it can give you even more gains. You see, after months of doing that every day, I started developing a callus, which was very hard and thick, and it was because I was using a judo belt, which caused a lot of friction on that area. So if you want those extra gains, you will want to use something rough like a judo belt or simply use an elastic band. Something worth noting is that the actual bone of my thumb finger grew, and I noticed that because of this ring, which I was able to wear on all fingers back then, but now it would be impossible to fit on my thumb. Next we've got the thumb war. It offers a crazy stretch and sensation in the thumb muscles. You can hit any part you want with it, whether the thumb pad or the interosseous muscle, depending on your position. You can not only train the thumb with it, but also train the muscles at the back of your hands, which are also called interosseous, and will give you that thick back look. So this is a pretty well-rounded tool, which has a feeling to it I haven't found in any other machine. And the guys in my community always tell me how good the gains are from this. S tier as well. By the way, Black Friday is here and there are massive discounts on Golden Grip, so if you've been waiting to buy anything from them, it's definitely time. You've got up to 35% discounts on some machines, so make sure to use code Roger. Next we have curls / anything to do with barbells. This is going to the D tier. It can pump the hands a little, but it's far from being the best way of growing thick hands. If that was the case, any gym goer would have massive hands, but it is far from the truth. The fatigue to stimulus ratio is also bad. You will burn out trying to curl your way up to huge hands every day. Rice bucket training. There are 1,000 exercises to do with rice. It is such a good tool to grow your forearms and hands, widely known among arm wrestlers, and it has given me pretty decent gains. Training with rice is very taxing on the forearms, so it cannot go in the S tier, as this is a hand growth tier list and I have to rank on fatigue factors as well. So even though this is the most complete tool for training hands, it is going to the A tier. False grip. I have been implementing this in my routine for the past few weeks to increase my cupping strength, and I found out that one of the side benefits was pumping my hands and growing the lower part of my pinky pad because of all the stress applied to that part. A tier, as it not only gives you crazy hand strength but also grows them, and you can just replace the neutral grip you do on pull-ups with it. Grip tools. I have used some grip strength equipment in the past. They achieve their purpose of making you stronger in all kinds of different positions, but they are not so great for hypertrophy, which is normal because a static lift cannot be better than having a concentric and an eccentric phase for that specific goal. They pump the hands a little, but that's all I got from them. C tier. Now we've got rising. The second exercise I've been doing ever since I got on that growing thicker hands routine. It is incredible and has played a huge role in my arm wrestling strength, wrist thickness, and also grew my thumbs. I think that most of my thumb muscle girth came from the pronation, but rising definitely helped, as I have been pinching the belt every rep I was doing. This is going to the S tier as well. Now we've got thick grips. They are excellent, you can use them for so many different exercises, dead hangs, curls, wrist curls, etc. It is a feeling I find nowhere else than with thick grips and thick handles. It is probably because of the fact that they open up the hands so much due to their girth, which makes you put force evenly on the whole surface of your hands, especially when doing cupping on the eccentric phase. A tier. If you're going to do dumbbell wrist curls, I absolutely recommend you use them. The Powerball. I use this tool almost every day before I do my sets of cupping on a pulley to warm up the hands, wrist and forearms. It is absolutely amazing for that purpose, but when it comes to grow thicker hands, it does nothing, which is normal because it wasn't designed to accomplish this goal. So it is gonna go in the D tier. You could probably see some gains after doing 10 minutes of straight Powerball work, but it is far from giving you the most bang for your buck. You're much better off doing one of the S tier exercises. I still love them, but not for training hands. The rubber egg. I'm about to nut again. This tool is way too good for its price. It pumps the thumbs like crazy. I love using it to train my thumbs, either by pinching it with my tip, with the whole surface of it, or place it in between the thumb and index to train the interosseous. You could even train your pinky pads, now that I think of it, but I've never really tried it, so yeah. S tier without any doubt. So cheap and so good. Arm wrestling. Man, this sport pumps the hands like crazy. Whenever I'm done with a match taken to failure, holy fuck, they double or triple in thickness. It is so demanding on the hand muscles, and for the fun story, I was arm wrestling with my club last week and pulled with this girl both hands after I had done matches on the left. First we pull on the right, she says nothing, then we gripped up to start pulling left, and she went, "What the hell, this is so much thicker than your right!" My left hand was completely swallowing her hands because of how pumped it was, from the few matches I had done, to the point she couldn't even grip me correctly. The difference between the two was night and day. And this is to tell you how good I find the sport for hands, thickness and strength. But the huge downside to it is that you cannot arm wrestle every day unless you want fucked up joints and arms. Or to become Devon Larratt. It is so taxing on the body that you need big recovery time, therefore this has to go to the C tier as hands need daily stimulus to grow. Now we have dead hangs or hanging from gritty surfaces like trees or rocks. I've tried this for a while a few years back in the goal of growing thicker hands still, but to be honest I didn't see much change. The only thing that was happening is that my fingers seemed to get thicker during and a short while after I was done. But the gains went away pretty quick. It is normal, fingers are incredibly hard to grow and I would have needed to do that for years to see permanent results. This is gonna go in the B tier, which brings us to climbing, and that is a whole other story. Just look at the hands of climbers, they are so thick, especially the fingers, because of how much stress they are going through having to find microscopic spots to hang on. This has to go into the S tier, but there is a huge catch. You do not get those results in months nor even years. This will take so long for your bones to adapt and grow thicker, you actually have to dedicate a huge part of your life to the sport for that. This is just like any manual job. I could put them at the top of the tier list and end the video, but we are trying to find ways that are practical, do not take much time and give quick results. Because I don't think that anybody will start a 9 to 5 for 10 years just to grow massive hands, which is why I will put climbing and doing manual jobs in the A tier. They will undoubtedly grow your hands, but this will take so much time and effort. Now let's talk about the riser. This is a tool you can either use, you guessed it, to train your rise, but you can also train your triceps while adding some extra ulnar deviations at the bottom, which will train your pinky pads. Is it absolutely required? No, I just found that tool to be nice to get some extra hand gains while doing triceps. Good tool, good feeling, B tier. Now I'm about to nut again. We have thick handles. Those are incredibly good for your hands and forearms. You know it if you follow me. This is especially good for your palms and pinky pad muscles. In fact, this is the only training I was doing for those two muscle groups for a long period because I wanted to grow my forearms, and as a byproduct I grew large hands. The stretch that they procure to the hands, the fact that they are thick grips, they are just too good. Again, take a look at arm wrestlers. Most of their training consists of pulley work with arm wrestling handles, and their hands are crazy big. S tier. My personal recommendation is that you get the King's Cup from Golden Grip. This is the best handle I have ever used, by far. Matter of fact, I use it every day. It gives the meanest of forearm pumps, hand pumps, and even targets your fingers. Hand grippers. There are a ton of ways to train hands with them, so many different positions that I listed in my Growing Thicker Hands guide on YouTube. Not gonna go over them here, but they deserve a S tier for sure. You can hit all muscles of the hands with it, and all you need is just a low resistance hand gripper. The Bruce Lee machine. Very similar concept to the hand grippers, although I prefer the Lee machine over the grippers for forearm training by far. It isn't even close, but this tier list isn't about this. The hand pump this machine gives is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's goated for palm gains, and for me it has to do with the parallel straight bar positions and the deep stretch you can get on the way down. But it's pretty much the only exercise you can do with it, and unfortunately it is very taxing on the forearms, so this has to go in the A tier. The forearm finisher. It is a goated tool for forearms, you know it if you've seen my previous tier list, but for hands it doesn't do much. It's normal, it was not made for this, it works the hands just a little, as you have to hold the bottom bar, but that's about it. It will get a modest C tier. The wrist wrench. Now that handle is fucking amazing for arm wrestling strength, forearm size and hand size. It checks out all of the boxes with a bonus. This handle has grit on it, making it very uncomfortable for the hands as it actively tries to roll out of your grip each rep, which I believe will make the hands tougher over a certain time frame. No, it is not gonna go in the S tier because it is a little different from the other handles, as you cannot fully open your hands and roll it back to the tip of your fingers, because of its design, which removes one of the two motions that are good for hand growth. So first there is the fingertip to palm squeezing aspect, and second the cupping aspect. So it is going to the A tier. Next you have the finger push-ups. They put so much stress on your phalanx. Whenever I try them, my fingers get instantly thicker. It is a bit painful and honestly hard, but I am certain that this is the single best finger builder exercise there is. I'm gonna take a gamble on this because I haven't personally done it long enough to see decent gains, but that feeling I get when I'm done with a set of finger push-ups is just insane. Something I haven't felt anywhere else, but please, if you have a lot of experience with them, let us know in the comments, because I am certain this is huge for thickening and strengthening fingers. S tier. Now for the last and single best palm builder ever, we have got the multi-spinner. Guys, I know I'm talking a lot about handles here, but trust me when I say the pumps I get from this exact tool in the pinky pad area is greater than anything else in this tier list. To back this up, Devon Larratt himself has said that this was his all-time favorite arm wrestling training tool, and I quickly understood why. The instability it gives you, the fact that you are strapped tight to the handle, replicating an arm wrestling strap match. But this is not what we are looking for here. That strap builds up so much lactic acid in your hands and gives disgusting pumps. Now there is a certain way to use it for better hand gains. At first I was doing the normal sets of 12, going heavy, struggling and everything, but I tried it the Devon way and just started spamming very small reps, focusing on squeezing and supinating my pinky pad. Going for about 60 reps, the same amount I used with pronation and rising, gave me the most ridiculous of pinky pad pumps I had ever had. And the cherry on top is that such small range of motion and the fact that your body is locking you in the same position is making no muscle work other than the pinky pad, so the fatigue to stimulus ratio is godly, which makes this exercise go at the top of the S tier, right next to the best thumb builder, pronation. Now, if you want to achieve the same results, my full programs are in my school, first link in the description. I've already transformed many students and gave them mutant hands just by making them follow my methods. If you want results, this is the community you want to be part of, and this is your only chance to get my programs at a discounted price for Black Friday. So make sure to take advantage of that, the price will not be going down ever again.